So I'm in Victoriaville, Quebec. This is literally a small town. It's about 50,000 folks. And one of the biggest employers here is MegaSecur. Like, they make the Watergate flood barrier. They actually employ 24 people. Now, it's really important to understand why I'm here. We're actually looking at the different flood barrier that this great company makes. It's actually FM approved, which means it's been certified by the Army Corps of Engineers in the US. It's one of only 2 products worldwide that actually has that approval rating, and it's the only one that's made in Canada. Now look, we know with climate change, there are so many more disasters in the world, and that there's so many more people in the face of those disasters. Think about it. In 2025, 360 million people were impacted by disaster and needed some form of humanitarian assistance. Now, whether that disaster was a war or a natural disaster, that's a lot of people. That's up from 60 million people needing humanitarian assistance in 2010. And now that more people are on the move and they're moving to cities that are on the coast, or there's big bodies of water like rivers that flood because of atmospheric rivers and different forms of heavy rain that cause flooding, we know we need to respond more to these floods. Now, at GlobalMedic, we always believe in innovating. We believe in getting the right aid to the right people at the right time. And that's why I'm right here. We're actually partnering with the team at MegaSecur and buying from them their flood barrier. Now, look, this is the coolest stuff here. You can see they've employed local folks. This is jobs in Canada, and this is important. The geopolitics going on, we've really got to spend our money here in Canada making products used to help Canadians that are impacted by disaster. So this is that type of product. Now you can see behind me, a couple of the workers are kind of sewing away the barrier, like they're kind of stitching in different sections to it. And the barrier is so simple. Like when we deploy it, we basically just put it out, like when we know the river's going to flood and we want to protect some form of critical infrastructure, like a nursing home. Like, can you imagine if we don't protect that nursing home and end up having to evacuate all those seniors? It's so much trauma to them, and it's so difficult for all the paramedics to have to come in, and it's so much of a taxation onto the system. We just need to be able to protect them, and that's why we deploy flood barrier like this. So what happens is we just lay it out on the ground. The water actually hits it, it lifts it up, and then the force of the water pushes back on itself, creating the barrier. Like, you wouldn't think this would actually work, but wow, not only does it work, it actually got that certification from the US Corps of Military Engineers, that FM approved. So the neat thing is I'm actually here getting to see how it's made. Now, some of the areas are top secret. They don't want to show everything that's done because, they've got intellectual property. But they've shown me how their workers are stitching the product, and it's neat for us at GlobalMedic because we're actually buying their product and then deploying it out, pre-positioning it, training teams on how to deploy it to protect critical infrastructure. So when flooding comes, and boy, flooding will always come, we can actually protect that critical infrastructure, whether it's that nursing home or a water treatment plant or an electrical power plant. So it's cool to get the tour here, and it's great to understand how the product's made, and we'll keep deploying it to protect people.